AskReddit by Sirika81. What situation is introvert's nightmare? Your social butterfly friend begs you to go to a party with him. You go there and he wanders off to talk to literally everyone there while you follow him like a puppy. Just a couple weeks ago, I was vacationing in Colorado and found out that a good friend of mine was in Pueblo, so I drove down to meet him. My thought was we'd go grab a burger somewhere. But he said instead to meet him at the home of a friend of his. He'd show up within half an hour, who I had never met, and we drive out to a campground to hang out with a couple of his friend's college friends, who he had never met. I wanted to say, dude, you've known me for like 25 years. Does any of that seem like something I'd be comfortable with? It all turned out fine, of course, but it was very stressful for me. We used to do that sort of thing all the time though, and I was somewhat less uncomfortable with it then. But now I'm 40 and socializing just keeps getting harder and harder. My college has put me in a shared room with a stranger who doesn't speak English. There is nowhere for me to go and recharge my social battery. I am losing my mind, don't get me wrong. I like my roommate. She seems real sweet, but by God I need a minute to myself. When I started college, one of my friends was paired with a 65-year-old Japanese man named Bunkichi as his roommate in the dorm. Bunkichi didn't speak much English and he also didn't believe in bathing, but other than that he was a pretty cool dude. Being picked out of the crowd at an assembly, concert, magic show, etc. People who just raise their hand to be chosen are true heroes. After parties. You mean there's more stuff to do after the stuff we planned on doing? I only have so much energy to deal with people and it was already used up. Deleted. When your boss unexpectedly wants you to present something or talk about something in the moment. I need like a couple days to prepare myself for any speaking engagement, lol. I don't even like it when someone calls me out of the blue without emailing or texting first. Here's mine. Meeting a coworker that you don't know very well on the train. Locking eyes and having to engage in conversation for the next 30-40 minutes. All you want to do is read your book, but there's no way out and you decide to put up a brave front. They're not thrilled to see you because you already have a reputation for being kind of weird. The more you talk, the weirder they think you are. You can see it in their eyes. Already you can hear the office gossip in your head. Oh my god, guess who I was stuck on the train with? Nightmare fuel. Work from home was a blessing in this regard. I've switched train cars to avoid this before, but sometimes it was unavoidable and I had someone talk at me for the 40-minute train ride, then the 5-block walk into the office, the last thing I wanted to do at 6 AM. Networking events. Edit. Wow y'all. Thanks for all the upvotes, replies and awards. Didn't expect this, but good to know I haven't suffered alone here. The groups that form where you either have to find a way into the conversation or awkwardly stand outside the circle. Let's all introduce ourselves. Deleted. Traveling to an event, like a big conference, where you'll be with coworkers the entire time for 2 days, and you share a hotel room with 2 of them. Literally no time away to yourself. And you arrive home Sunday night, and you work on Monday at 0730. Man, I feel this one. The shared hotel room is especially cruel. A total surprise party for me at my place with everyone and their significant other, so I'm essentially the 49th wheel at my own party. Kill me now. Edit. I exaggerated the number, but I have been a 9th wheel at a couple's party. I did not know it was going to be all couples, but glad to know this is so relatable. The surprise party thing leaves me so torn. On the one hand, people like and think about me enough to throw me a party? Gee, thanks, guys. On the other hand, I do not want to be the center of attention ever. I am going to stifle this panic attack, put on a smile to say thank you, and then hide somewhere. wanna hang out this Saturday? Sure. Saturday arrives, 10 minutes before hangout time. Oh, also I invited my friend you have never met before to join us. Comma. And when you meet them they will start talking about all the things they did together that you weren't part of and now you are a third wheel. Being forced into public speaking last moment. Or at all. Any kind of public speaking is my own personal nightmare. Something we have in the Netherlands that is called hospitality. Basically students here share a house, like a normal, family house, where each person rents a room and you share a living space, kitchen and bathroom together. And to get one of those rooms, the rest of the house usually has to pick you as their new roommate. So they organize these evenings where you go to the house and you meet the people living there, show the room and they get the chance to get an impression of you and possibly pick you to rent the room. It's the worst because you constantly have to show them how much fun you are and how great you are, and it is literally my nightmare and one of the reasons I never rented a student room lol. I got insanely lucky on that part. There were only 2 people in line for the room, the second being me. First place failed to show up so I got the room. Didn't even meet my roommates or anything, I just got the room and that was it. Now my new roommates do have these meetings. It sounds dreadful to be on the other side. That's not loud enough. I said good morning team. Or, see Monday, you can do better than that. I said, good morning, team. I hate you. A ad hoc talent show with co-workers. As someone who's maybe not a full introvert but has a limit on my extrovertedness, this happened to me and I basically said no thanks. This is it. This is the worst one. Why are you being so quiet? I don't speak unless I can contribute to the conversation. From personal experience, I will say introducing myself. I'm really shy in person. Social situations drain me, and I simply prefer my own company. Surname is Paloma, Dove in English, and growing up I'd always get made fun of BC of my name. I'd get bird calls pointed at me, bread and rice thrown at me, overall just shaming me for something I didn't choose. I didn't choose that name. I couldn't understand why my name was so triggering to these people. Today, I love my name. It's a symbol of peace. I find it such a beautiful name and it represents me very well. So fuck them kids. People randomly showing up to hang out at your own place. Oh look how the dwarfs just swarm into Baggins's house. Nightmare indeed. Phone calls. Receiving and twice as bad having to make one. Or having to leave a voicemail. I forget how to form a coherent sentence. Remember, introversion, social anxiety. While the two can of course mix, introverts are people who charge their batteries when they are alone and have me time, and get drained faster when in a group of people. You can be a social introvert. I think what people in the comments are assuming is that introverts are people who hate social interaction or public events. That's not necessarily true. 100% this. I like parties and social gatherings. I don't mind public speaking or group events. I do get exhausted and I want to curl up in a ball on the couch for a day after and decompress. So for me I think my nightmare would be being on one of those reality shows where I'm filmed 24/7 and constantly engaging with other contestants. Unexpected phone calls. Deleted. Deleted. Who's up for 2 truths and a lie? Thinks, can they all be lies? No, what are the most boring truths I can think of so no one comes up to talk to me after this? Public marriage proposal which they want to turn down. Public marriage proposal in general. School presentations. Deleted. People barging into my personal space uninvited. Ask them nicely, would you kindly remove yourself from my personal space? Tell me about yourself. I was born at a very young age. A party where all people do is stand around and talk. For hours. I just want to be in bed with a book, thanks. Unexpected visitors when you're at home. Don't fucking do this, it is very rude. I don't answer the door. Problem solved. Being asked to do some group activity on such short notice and being put on the spot without having a legitimate reason for not wanting to do it aside from I just don't feel like it. A large wedding. Being the center of attention for an entire day sounds fucking terrible. Especially with a lot of family members I don't particularly care for, or haven't seen in years, and having to pretend like I'm happy to see them and oh my gosh it's been so long. No thank you. I've had one and I dissociated through the entire thing. So glad we spent all that money on it.